Evan Cole stood at the edge of the observation deck, staring out at the dying blue star that burned just beyond Helios 9's orbit. The massive orbital station hummed softly around him, a mixture of human machinery and alien technology, all connected in a fragile lattice of metal and light. He had spent weeks here, adjusting reactors, fixing malfunctioning panels, and learning to navigate the strange blend of human and alien cultures. Yet nothing about the station had prepared him for the moment he first saw her. Lyrial floated across the deck with effortless grace. Her skin shimmered like a liquid prism, casting faint ripples of color across the floor. Evan had heard of the Theron before, crystalline beings whose emotions were visible in the patterns of light that coursed through their bodies. But seeing one up close was entirely different. The way her light pulsed, faint but deliberate, made his heart skip. He couldn't look away. "Lieutenant Cole," a voice said behind him. Evan turned quickly, expecting a superior, but no one was there. It was as if the station itself had spoken his name. When he looked back, she was nearer, her luminous eyes catching his, studying him with curiosity rather than fear. I was just..." Evan's voice faltered. He wasn't sure how to explain staring at a creature that could communicate more with light than with words. "I haven't met many Theron before." Lyrial tilted her head, letting a wave of soft blue flow across her crystalline form. Evan felt a strange warmth spread through him, a sensation almost like music vibrating in his chest. She stepped closer, her movements precise and fluid. "Do you wish to feel it?" she whispered. The sound was almost musical, vibrating through the air rather than striking it. Evan blinked, caught off guard. Did she mean the way she felt? Or something else? I'm not sure I understand, he admitted. Her light dimmed slightly, as if amused rather than offended. She reached out, just far enough for the tip of her hand to hover near his. Evan could feel a strange energy, a gentle hum against his skin, though he couldn't see it. "You can," she said softly, "if you allow it." Before he could respond, the station shuddered. Red lights flashed along the walls and a klaxon sounded. A warning blared. Core stabilizer malfunction. Immediate action required. Lyrial's glow changed, quick pulses of bright yellow streaking across her body, signaling alarm. "Follow me," she instructed. Without thinking, Evan moved after her, weaving through the crowded corridors where humans and aliens rushed to respond to the emergency. The stabilizer room was a chaos of sparks and low, electric hums. A panel had burst, releasing a cloud of shimmering particles that hovered midair like tiny stars. Evan's training kicked in immediately. He checked gauges, recalculated the power distribution, and quickly rerouted auxiliary conduits. Lyrial mirrored his movements in her way, glowing faintly with each adjustment. Her vibrations communicating information he had to interpret instinctively. It was a strange dance, human logic guided by his hands, alien intuition guiding her. And somehow together they were beginning to stabilize the failing system. Finally, the alarms quieted. The humming of the core returned to normal, steady and reassuring. Evan stepped back, wiping sweat from his brow. "That worked," he said, barely believing it. Lyrial's form softened into a gentle green glow, a signal of calm and satisfaction. She turned to him, and for a moment the noise of the station faded. He could only see the light and feel the vibrations echoing through the floor, subtle but insistent like a heartbeat that was not entirely his own. "You adapted quickly," she said. It wasn't praise exactly. It was more like acknowledgement. Few humans can adjust so naturally to Theron methods. Evan swallowed. I tried to do my best." She floated closer again, her glow dimming to a soft personal light that made the chaos of the station feel distant. "Do you wish to feel it?" she repeated, this time more clearly, more deliberately. Evan realized she wasn't speaking of the emergency or the station, but of something else entirely, something deeply intimate and uniquely alien. "I think I do," he said finally, though his voice barely rose above a whisper. He didn't fully understand what he was agreeing to, but something within him, curiosity, awe, perhaps even courage, urged him forward. Lyrial extended her hand, and Evan placed his own against hers. The moment he did, a rush of sensation flooded him. Not pain, not heat, not light, but something far more profound. It was like hearing music for the first time, feeling it not just with his ears, but with his entire being. He sensed her emotions, curiosity, patience, a quiet joy and connection. And in return, he felt his own humanity reflected back at him, amplified through her. The moment was broken by another tremor in the station. The outer hull quaked, and a deep vibration ran through the decks. The dying blue star outside flared, sending waves of light into the observation windows. The station systems groaned under the strain and alarms sounded again. Lyrial withdrew her hand, but her gaze never left his. "Later," she said softly, almost a promise. "We will continue." Evan nodded, trying to steady himself. He felt as though he had glimpsed something immense, something that bridged species and worlds, and yet it was only the beginning. That night, he stayed in the observation deck longer than he should have. Helios 9's corridors were quieter now, most of the crew exhausted from the day's crises. Evan sat in the soft glow of the star and replayed the moment over and over in his mind. He had never imagined that meeting another species could feel like this, intimate, mysterious, yet safe. A faint ripple of light appeared at the far end of the deck. Lyrial's presence was unmistakable even without her speaking. She hovered there, silent and still, her crystalline form catching the starlight. Evan felt a strange pull, a magnetic tug at the core of his being. "You do not sleep yet," she said. The vibrations of her voice carried warmth. I cannot stop thinking," he admitted. "I don't understand what I just felt." She drifted closer, and her glow shifted into a pattern that suggested amusement. "Few understand immediately," she said. "Feeling is not knowledge. It is experience. It is trust. To feel is to share yourself and receive another self in return." Evan swallowed hard, his pulse racing. "And if I wish to feel it again?" Lyrial's light softened, pulsing slowly, invitingly. "Then you must be patient," she said. "Trust is earned even in the simplest touch. For now, observe. Learn. And when the star rises tomorrow, perhaps we will try again." He nodded, his eyes fixed on her shimmering form. Somehow he knew this was not just about curiosity. It was about connection, human and alien, heart and mind, light and life. And though the station hummed around them, the chaos of the day seemed distant. For a few precious moments there was only understanding, only resonance, only the quiet beginning of something extraordinary. As Evan left the observation deck later that night, he glanced back once more. Lyrial was still there, her light dimmed but steady, watching him go. And for the first time, he felt that maybe humanity, with all its flaws, impulsiveness, and unpredictability, had found a place among the stars not through strength or technology, but through the courage to feel. Outside, the dying blue star shimmered, a silent witness to the fragile promise between a human and a crystalline alien, and a beginning that neither of them could have predicted. The day began with a low hum that ran through Helios 9 like a quiet heartbeat. Evan Cole made his way to the core stabilization lab, his boots echoing against the metallic floor. The alarms of yesterday had faded, but the tension lingered. Every crew member knew the star outside was unstable. Its blue glow flickered like it could vanish at any moment. But for Evan, the tension carried a different weight now. He couldn't stop thinking about Lyrial. When he entered the lab, she was already there, her crystalline form glowing softly, the light flowing in gentle waves across her limbs. Her luminescence seemed calmer than the day before, a slow rhythm that matched the low hum of the station. She looked at him and tilted her head, a movement that made his chest tighten. "You returned," she said, her vibrations brushing against him like soft music. I couldn't stay away," Evan admitted. "I keep thinking about what you said yesterday." Lyrial's glow shifted into a pale green, the color of curiosity. "Do you wish to feel it again?" Evan nodded. "Yes, I want to understand it." She extended her hand. This time he didn't hesitate. When their hands met, a wave of resonance flowed between them, far stronger than yesterday. Evan felt his own emotions reflected and amplified. His curiosity, his awe, his desire to understand, all mingled with something alien but deeply comforting. For a few moments the chaos of the station fell away, and there was only the connection. But the calm didn't last. A tremor ran through Helios 9 and the warning lights flared. Evan pulled back, heart racing. "What now?" Lyrial's light shifted to rapid pulses of red and gold. "The star is unstable. Its energy is uneven, more than we thought. We must act quickly." They moved together to the damaged sectors, weaving through corridors crowded with engineers and technicians. The human crew was tense, working frantically to repair failing conduits while the alien engineers seemed to move as one, their light pulses coordinating their actions. Evan realized that the Theron's ability to communicate through vibration gave them an advantage he could never fully understand. Lyrial gestured for him to follow her into the auxiliary reactor chamber. The room was filled with glowing conduits and sparks of energy that danced through the air. Evan's eyes widened. "I've never seen energy behave like this," he muttered. "It's alive." "It is," Lyrial said softly. "The star is not just a body of gas and fire. It has a consciousness. It reacts to its surroundings, to the people who approach it." Evan frowned. "A living star? How is that possible?" She tilted her head. "We do not fully know. It has existed long before our records and perhaps long before humanity's. But its emotions, they can be sensed, its pain. We can feel it," Evan shivered. "And what happens if we don't stabilize it?" Lyrial's glow dimmed to a sorrowful blue. "It will erupt. Helios 9 cannot survive, nor will any crew near it. The energy will destroy everything in this sector." The weight of responsibility settled on Evan's shoulders, but alongside it came a spark of determination. He had never been a natural diplomat or leader, but he had one skill humans often excelled at: improvisation. When Lyrial gestured to the failing conduits, Evan's mind raced. He recognized patterns in the energy flow, ways to redirect power that the Theron might never consider. "Trust me," he said, more to himself than to her. He grabbed a toolkit and began rerouting circuits, connecting stabilizers in ways that went against standard protocol. Sparks flew and the room shook, but Evan kept his focus, moving with precision and speed. Lyrial watched him with a mixture of awe and disbelief. Her light pulsed in bright yellow streaks, the Theron equivalent of shock and admiration. "No human has ever done this," she whispered. You are unpredictable." "Beautifully so." Evan blushed, but there was no time to dwell on words. The star outside flared violently and a wave of energy washed over the station. Alarms screamed and the floor vibrated under his boots. But then slowly the readings began to stabilize. The conduits held, the energy flow became steady, and the star's pulse seemed less erratic. For a brief moment, Evan allowed himself to breathe. He looked at Lyrial and she met his gaze. Her glow had softened, warm and steady like a gentle light in the darkness. "You helped calm it," she said. "Your actions, they resonate differently. Your species has ingenuity and courage. You can reach places others cannot." Evan's chest swelled with pride, but also something more tender, a connection that transcended words. "I couldn't have done it without you," he said. I felt your guidance." Lyrial's light pulsed gently, almost like a heartbeat. "And I felt yours," she replied. "Your emotions? They are strong, human. You can influence resonance with courage, fear, and hope. Together we can reach the star." Evan frowned. "The star, you mean? It's still unstable?" "Yes," she admitted. "The anomaly is not natural. Something inside it, something alive, is in pain. It reacts to fear, to chaos, to despair. Only through connection, through understanding, can it be calmed." The words sank in. The star wasn't just unstable. It was a living entity in distress, and they were the only ones who could reach it. Evan's mind raced. "So, what do we do?" Lyrial extended her hand again. "We connect fully. You must feel me and I will feel you. Only through resonance. Only through trust. Can we reach the heart of the star's pain?" Evan took her hand without hesitation this time. The resonance surged stronger than ever, filling him with waves of sensation that were both overwhelming and comforting. He felt her emotions, her patience, her curiosity, her joy, and in turn she felt his courage, his concern, and something uniquely human: hope. For a few moments, the chaos of the station, the trembling floor, the flickering lights, and all of it faded. There was only the connection, the shared pulse of two beings, human and Theron, bridging species and worlds. Suddenly the resonance expanded outward, reaching beyond the lab, into the star itself. Evan gasped. The energy of the star flooded his senses, a vast living presence that cried out in pain and confusion. He realized that the star was aware, and that it recognized them. Lyrial's voice vibrated in his mind. "Do you feel it? Its pain, its fear? We must calm it. Trust your emotions." Show it what we can give: hope, courage, understanding. Evan nodded, though she could not see it. He focused, letting his feelings flow into the resonance. Fear and courage intertwined, uncertainty and determination, loneliness and hope. He didn't try to reason with the star. He simply shared himself. The star pulsed in response. Its energy, once chaotic, began to align with theirs. Evan felt the immense presence reach toward him, sensing, learning, responding. And in that moment, he understood something profound. Humans, with all their flaws, their unpredictability and their emotions, could connect with the universe in ways no other species could. Lyrial's light pulsed gently against him. You are remarkable, Evan. Together, we can do this. Trust yourself. Trust me. Evan inhaled deeply. I trust you. I trust us. The resonance grew stronger, and for a brief shining moment it felt as though human and Theron, station and star all existed in harmony. The chaotic energy of the star began to calm, its pulse steadying, its light softening to a serene blue. Helios 9 sensors registered stability. Evan's heart pounded, not from fear but from exhilaration. He had touched something greater than himself, something alive and vast, and had helped it find peace. Lyrial floated beside him, her glow gentle and warm. You have done well, she said softly. Few can feel as you do. Few can bridge worlds with such courage. Evan smiled, though he was still overwhelmed. I never imagined I could do this. Or feel this. She reached out, her hand brushing his once more. Feeling is not always simple, she said. It requires patience, trust, and openness. But when it succeeds, it changes everything. Outside the observation window, the dying blue star shimmered, no longer chaotic, but calm and steady. Evan knew this was just the beginning. He had glimpsed the vastness of the universe, and the power of connection, human and alien, light and heart, courage and hope. As the crew continued repairs and the station hummed with life, Evan realized that the star had not just been calmed. Something had shifted inside him as well. For the first time, he understood what it meant to feel across worlds. And he knew that when Lyrial asked again, he would be ready. The night fell over Helios 9, but the glow of the star and the warmth of Lyrial's presence stayed with him, a quiet reminder that even among the vast emptiness of space, connection was possible. And sometimes, all it took was trust, courage, and the willingness to feel. The station shuddered as Helios 9 floated perilously close to the dying star. Outside, its brilliant blue surface flickered and pulsed brighter than ever, as if it were alive, and because it was. Evan Cole stood beside Lyrial in the core chamber, their hands clasped, hearts racing. The star's energy had become chaotic again, but this time they understood the cause. It is aware, Lyrial said softly, her crystalline skin glowing in slow, deliberate pulses. The star is not merely unstable, it is in pain. Something ancient, trapped inside it, calls out. Evan's brow furrowed. Trapped? What do you mean? She tilted her head and her light rippled in complex patterns. Long ago, a being entered the star. We do not know why. Its energy became bound, imprisoned by forces beyond understanding. Its anger and confusion now destabilized the star. Evan swallowed. So it's like a living being trapped inside a giant fireball? Yes, Lyrial said, her glow shifting to pale gold. And it senses fear. It reacts to chaos. Only understanding, only connection, can calm it. Evan took a deep breath. Fear raced through him, but beneath it was a spark of determination. Humans, he realized, had a unique gift, the ability to act despite fear, to reach out with emotion even when the odds seemed impossible. We can do this, he said quietly. We can reach it, together. Lyrial's light brightened with warmth. Then we must begin. They stepped into the energy chamber, where the star's pulse resonated through the walls and floors, vibrating through every inch of Helios 9. Evan felt it in his chest, a deep, powerful rhythm that threatened to overwhelm him. Lyrial's hand on his steadied him, her resonance connecting to his own, forming a bridge between human and Theron. Trust your feelings, she whispered. Do not try to control them. Show the star who we are. Show it hope, courage, and understanding. Evan closed his eyes and focused. He reached into himself, into the essence of humanity, the ability to care, to protect, to hope against impossible odds. He let it flow outward through his connection to Lyrial, into the very energy of the star. At first, nothing happened. The star's pulse remained erratic, a violent storm of light and energy. Then slowly he felt a response, a tremor of recognition as if the star itself sensed that someone was trying to reach it. The vibrations through the chamber shifted, subtle at first, then stronger, more rhythmic, syncing with their joined heartbeats. Lyriel's glow deepened. "It is feeling you, continue." Evan concentrated, letting the resonance grow stronger. He allowed his emotions to mix with Lyriel's. Courage, patience, empathy, understanding. Fear was present too, but it was tempered by determination. Slowly, the chaotic energy of the star began to align with their combined frequency. The tremors through Helios 9 lessened, the alarms quieted, and the star's flickering glow softened to a steady, deep blue. He gasped, realizing that they were not just calming the star, they were communicating with it. Its pain, its confusion, its loneliness all reached them, and in return they offered understanding, compassion, and hope. "It is working," Lyriel said softly. Her voice vibrated with relief and awe. "We are reaching it." The energy around them swelled, enveloping them in light and vibration. Evan felt memories, emotions, and thoughts that were not his own. The star, the being inside, shared its story without words, showing a sense of isolation that had lasted centuries. Evan's heart ached at the depth of it. Humans had their own struggles, their own loneliness, but this was on a cosmic scale. "We feel you," he whispered, though his voice barely carried over the resonance. "You are not alone." Lyriel's hand tightened on his. "Together," she said, and their combined energies amplified the connection. For a long moment, the pulse of the star slowed. The violent flickers gave way to a steady rhythm, its light calming to a serene glow. Evan opened his eyes and saw the chamber bathed in soft blue, the star responding to their emotions. The entity inside had accepted their understanding. "Do you feel it?" Lyriel asked, her voice gentle, her light soft and warm. Evan nodded, tears threatening to spill. "I do, I feel everything. It's pain, it's hope, and now peace." Lyriel's glow pulsed in a pattern that made Evan's chest tighten with emotion. "And now," she whispered, "you have truly felt it. Not just the star, but the resonance of connection, of empathy. You have reached across worlds, Evan. You have done what few could imagine." He smiled, feeling a mixture of exhaustion and exhilaration. "I couldn't have done it without you." "You helped me feel it as well," she said softly. "Humans, your kind is unpredictable. You act with emotion, with courage. You teach us new ways to connect. This is extraordinary." Outside the observation windows, the star shimmered peacefully, its once violent pulses now calm and steady. Helios 9 hummed in quiet stability, the alarms gone, the crew able to breathe again. Evan realized that the station's survival was only part of the miracle. They had calmed a living being that had suffered for centuries, and it had been their trust, their empathy that had done it. As the energy in the chamber settled, Evan and Lyriel floated to the observation deck. The star cast a soft blue glow across their forms, and for a long moment they simply watched side by side. No words were needed. The resonance between them remained, a quiet hum that connected human and Theron, heart and light. Evan finally broke the silence. "I never imagined that humans could connect like this, with someone or something so different." Lyriel tilted her head, her glow pulsing gently. "It is not only humans. It is courage, empathy, and willingness to feel. You have shown that even in vast emptiness, connection is possible. You are remarkable, Evan." He felt his cheeks warm. "I only did what I could. I trusted you. I let myself feel." "And that was enough," she said. Her hand brushed against his again, a spark of warmth through the resonance. "Now you understand. Feeling is not just personal. It is shared, amplified, and it changes the world. Or a star, at least." Evan laughed softly, relief and joy mingling in his chest. "I guess humanity does have something unique after all." Lyriel's glow shifted, subtle pulses of soft pink and gold, a pattern he had learned to recognize as deep happiness. "Yes," she said. "You reach places we cannot alone. Together we can do remarkable things. Not through force, not through strength, but through empathy, understanding, and trust." The dying star outside flared once more, but this time it was a gentle shimmer, a reminder of life and connection rather than danger. Evan felt a profound sense of accomplishment. They had faced the impossible, a living star in pain, and had succeeded not by weapons or technology alone, but through courage, trust, and the shared power of emotion. He looked at Lyriel, her crystalline form radiant in the soft light. "Thank you," he said quietly, "for showing me how to feel." She reached out, her fingers brushing his in a delicate pattern that resonated deeply within him. "And thank you, Evan," she replied, "for teaching me that connection can be stronger than fear, that even among humans there is hope, courage, and light. We are stronger together." For a long time, they remained there, hands joined, hearts beating in resonance with each other and the calm, vibrant star outside. Evan understood that this was more than friendship. More than understanding, it was a bond that transcended species. A reminder that humanity had a place among the stars not through conquest but through courage, trust, and the willingness to feel. The station systems hummed quietly around them, repaired and stable. Crew members moved with purpose, grateful for survival yet unaware of the extraordinary connection that had saved them. Outside, the calm star shimmered, a silent witness to the union of hearts. One human, one Theron united in understanding. And for Evan, that was enough. He had learned what it truly meant to reach across worlds, to trust, to empathize, and to feel. And he knew that whatever lay ahead, the resonance he shared with Lyriel, and the proof that humanity could touch even the hearts of stars, would guide him, always. The star pulsed gently in the distance, a soft, endless rhythm, as if singing the song of two hearts, human and alien, separate and yet profoundly connected.